We live? I think we live. Cool, cool, cool. Now, church people, what's good? Hope you fellas are well. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. You know what I'm saying? Hope you fellas are chilling hearty, sleeping hearty. Eating hearty, bro. That's that's all what I've been doing. I've just been eating, sleeping, shitting. Oh, babe. Whew, no good. No good, sir. No good. But yeah, nah, man. I've been looking forward to these to these Christmas holidays. I've got another 2 more weeks left of no work, baby. That's what I'm talking about, yeah, boy. But yeah, anyways, for this video, I just wanted to sort of touch upon The Last Jedi, the movie. This isn't going to be a review. This is just more of a nitpicky thing. This is more of a nitpick myself, not really a review. And before I get started, this will be a spoiler review, so I will be spoiling certain bits in order for me to explain what I want to explain. I have to spoil bits. So again, if you don't want to be spoiled, if you have not seen The Last Jedi, do not watch this video. Or, watch the movie first, then come back and watch this video, maybe, if you want to. Whatever. So, we good? We understand each other? We good? Okay. Let's begin. So, first off, The Last Jedi. For me, look, okay, I'll start off with the good bits. Okay, I'll get the good bits out of the way and then we can get down and dirty. Look, the graphics, the FX, the special effects, the sound effects are pristine. They are really nice, especially in the theatre. Well, where it felt epic. It felt like a big epic. Bro, what are you doing? Yeah. Bloody fly. Oh, I don't know, babe. Yeah, so I mean, the film was epic, bro. Epic as. The sound quality was top notch. The special effects again was top notch. It was, got ships flying everywhere, explosions, warp, ships going into warp and exploding, hitting other ships. I was like, bro, that was cool. For me, anyways. That was mean. Hold on, need to. Yeah, but so all of that stuff, all of that was fine. The costumes and that, the aliens, all of that was cool. But it's the story and the characters, that's what I've kind of got a bit of a gripe with these with these characters and with the storyline and the script. It felt like, to me, I don't know anyone else, but to me it felt like The Force Awakens, right, was supposed to go one way, but then Ryan Johnson came along and went a completely different bruh. Bro, I don't look, man. To me, it felt like J.J. Abrams had built up something, okay, this is the way we're gonna go. Okay, with J.J.'s sort of outlined, what the trilogy is gonna be about and the characters and that, and then and then he made The Force Awakens to sort of go in this direction, and then Ryan came up, be like, thanks, JJ, but I think I'll take it from here. You know what I'm saying? And went like a completely different direction. Because JJ was going this way, and then Ryan took the wheel and drove off somewhere else, into the horizon, into some, into the mountains over there. Like, hey, and to me, as I was driving back home, it felt like, to me it felt like Lost, like I was watching Lost again, because Lost was similar. Lost was very similar to where it was like, okay, you got the first season and the first 2 seasons, they were sort of going in this way, and then as the seasons went on and the episodes went, it sort of went all over the bloody show, you know. And it's like, bro, who's driving? You know, and I felt that way during Lost, and the same thing, I had the same bloody feeling as I was driving back home from the theatre. I was like, did I watch Star Wars, or was I watching Lost? Because I was kind of, you know, debating whether if that, you know, if what I had just watched was a episode from Star Wars or an episode from the Lost, because it was, you know, sort of went all over the place. And you know, for me, I went into The Last Jedi, you know, with questions that I wanted, you know, because of what The Force Awakens had set up. Like, for instance, Kylo. Because in The Force Awakens, you had Kylo, and he had his grandfather's remains, you know, and there was a scene there where you got Kylo and he's talking. It seems like he's talking to his grandfather. He's like asking him, show me again, because, you know, I'm weak, or I need more, like, I've lost my way, I need, you know, directions to the dark side, I need, you know, I need a hand, I need guidance, I need you to show me again. And then Kylo gets up and walks off, and, you know, and you see Darth Vader's sort of skull in his helmet, and for me that was like a big thing for me, because I was like, okay, because us as audience, we know that Anakin, you know, we know that Luke saved Anakin, or well, Luke killed Vader but saved Anakin's soul, and now Anakin's in flying around with Yoda and them in Jedi, you know, Valhalla and that. So for me, I was like, who is Kylo talking to? And I was thinking maybe, you know, maybe it was Snoke. Maybe Snoke was giving Kylo visions, like a force projection, if you will. Visions, making him think that he's talking to his grandfather when really he wasn't. It's all fake, you know. You know, and that's what I was hoping that maybe The Last Jedi would touch up on, or at least maybe give us a little bit more about that little storyline or that little plot line, but in The Last Jedi, nothing. It's never mentioned. Kylo having the remains, we don't know who he was talking to, and at the end, The Last Jedi doesn't explain nothing. So that whole plot was completely cut out, and I don't know where they were trying to go. I don't know where JJ was trying to go with that little scene in The Force Awakens, you know, because for me it felt like JJ was pointing at something bigger, you know, for the overall, you know, maybe for Kylo's arc story, or for his character development, or even just for the whole trilogy. That's how I felt. I felt like JJ was trying to hint at something, but The Last Jedi, nothing. There was nothing in there, you know. And I had the same problem with, again, Rey's appearance. Now, for me, I didn't mind Rey not, you know, being just, you know, I didn't mind Rey not being related to Luke. That, you know, I didn't mind that, because for me it's like, well, you know, if you're strong-willed and you're fighting for good, you know, the Force will choose you and stuff like that. So I like that bit. Plus, in the prequels, we also see other alien races that have that are Force sensitive. So, you know, so you don't have to be a human. Like, you could be an alien and still have Force, and still be Force sensitive. You know, so it does make sense for Rey to be sort of like, you know, for her to not have any Jedi parents or whatever. You know, the Force chooses anybody type thing. So I like that bit. But for me, again, in The Force Awakens, JJ had made it seem like that the parents, or that her parents, played a specific role in the overall trilogy, and maybe her parents played a specific role in Rey's overall arcing character development thing. You know, that was my impression, because for me, I didn't really worry about... You see, here's the thing, right? Rey's parents weren't that important to me, right? They didn't seem really that important. The only scene where it might allude to something is the scene where Rey is a child, is that flashback scene where Rey's a child and she's like reaching out to the ship and the ship goes away, crying out to the ship and that. And it was that scene where I was like, oh, hold up. Maybe her parents actually, like, maybe they play an important part of, in the overall trilogy. But in The Last Jedi, nothing. Not nothing, but in The Last Jedi, it was like, we trolled you. You know what I'm saying? You fellas making up all of these theories and that. It was a wild goose chase. We were just pulling your leg. Her parents aren't anything. And it's just like, oh. So if her parents weren't that important, then my question is, why did JJ make it seem like it was important? Why did JJ dedicate a whole scene, casting a little child Rey and putting her in the costume and having, the little child actress act out that scene? Why was that scene created if her parents weren't really had nothing to do with anything? That to me is a bit weird. It's just like, couldn't that scene have been cut out if it wasn't that important? But that's just me. Look, I could be wrong. Whatever. So there was that scene as well as Luke's. Hold on, let me just move you a little bit. The sun's sort of coming in. Thank you, sun. Jeez. Anyways, so, and last but not least is definitely Luke. Luke's character. You see, for me, the Luke that we see in The Last Jedi is not the same Luke that we see in Return of the Jedi. Not to me, man. These are two different Luke characters. Like, did Luke have a twin? Because that's what it felt like to me. Because for me, man, look, you had Luke in Return of the Jedi, right? Save his father. Now, his father was a mass murderer. He killed innocent men, women, and children, and that's one of the things that I disliked about Return of the Jedi, is that, bro, you've got this mass murderer who have killed innocent people, and you want to save him? That rubbed me the wrong way. But anyways, back to The Last Jedi. You had Luke save his father, a mass murderer, killed. That's like a bomber, that's like a terrorist planting a bomb at a hotel or at a school or something and just blowing it up. He's a mass murderer, a killer. But he's still got redeemed, but he's still, I see good in my father and I have to save him, stuff like that, and he did. But then fast forward to The Last Jedi, there's a scene where Luke turns on his lightsaber to kill Kylo, his nephew. And for me, that made no sense, because Kylo is innocent. Yes, I understand he has strong ties to the dark side. I understand that, but isn't that to be expected because his grandfather was Darth Vader? So, wasn't that to be expected? I don't know. But I think the main thing is just that Kylo's innocent. He has not killed anybody yet. His hands are clean. He hasn't killed anybody. He's innocent. And yet Luke still was debating or was contemplating on killing him. Even though he didn't, he had a change of heart right at the last minute. But it's just the fact that he turned his lightsaber on. Just the fact that he turned it on. That to me was just like, okay, huh? It's like, am I missing something here? And I was thinking maybe, in order for me to understand, do I have to go back and read the Star Wars comic books and that. Because I felt like I was missing something. It felt like I had really missed something when I watched that scene in The Last Jedi. I was like, damn, is there a comic book that I need to read in order for me to understand what's happened here? Or is there a series of books that I have to read in order to understand why Luke, went from saving, a mass murderer, his father, to now just killing his innocent nephew? Like, I really, hold on, I really felt like I was missing something, anything, like a crucial piece of information. But again, I think that's just terrible script writing. Some people say, oh, Ryan done something edgy. I guess you could say, doing a twist or giving Luke a different perspective. I understand that, and that's cool. But at the same time, you have to be true to the source material, and you have to, it just makes no sense in terms of script. It just makes no sense. For me, anyways, that's for me, and that's one of the things where I got confused with The Last Jedi is definitely Luke and his character. That bit there, just, I was just like, huh? So that to me just made no sense. That, as well as Finn. I think another thing was Finn, right? I really liked Finn. Okay, I really, really, really liked Finn, but I think one of the, I really like Finn's, backstory in that. I really liked it. Him being a stormtrooper and he, changes sides or whatever. I like that. And then he runs away, but then he comes back. I really like. In The Force Awakens, Finn was my favourite character because I thought he had a better arching story than Rey. She was, just a typical. She knows everything, can fly any, any ship, and can fight anybody. So, I think for me she felt a little bit too overpowering for me. But I quite liked Finn though. I thought he was a cool character. So I was very interested to see what role he played in The Last Jedi. And as we all know, bruh, I don't know what Ryan Johnson... Does Ryan Johnson like Finn? Because for me, he made Finn go on a wild goose chase that ended up really not really doing anything. It's just like, huh? Because for me, I thought Finn was one of the main characters. Rey, Finn, Poe. I thought these were our three main protagonists. But in The Last Jedi, Finn, Ryan gave Finn an absolutely worthless, I don't know, mission. He just, if Finn had have just stayed on the ship, that his whole scene would have never really changed anything. The whole story would have been exactly the same, and I think that's the same. Hold on, let me move here again. Sorry about this, people. The sun is like moving up and it's like hitting the camera. Okay, I'll be finished soon. Don't worry. But yeah, that to me, like, Finn, I mean, again, JJ made Finn to be one of the main protagonists of the trilogy, but then in The Last Jedi, Ryan gives Finn not a very good mission, or it's a worthless mission, a worthless errand, makes him do something. It's, it's just, again, it goes back to the script. It's like JJ had made these characters, and then Ryan's just, again, taken the wheel and drove off somewhere else. It's just like, bro, what are we doing here? And I think, I mean, you can say what you will, but I have a feeling that JJ and Ryan had, like, there was no communication between those two. I don't think so. Because if they were communicating, then why does The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi seem disconnected? Why do they seem uneven? They should be, two pieces of a bigger puzzle that fits together. These two films should fit together quite nicely, but these two films don't. They're just different, and you know, and I think that that just goes back to the trilogy. You know, they should have written the trilogy out as a big, you know, sort of from beginning, middle to end, just write the whole thing out. You know, and this trilogy should have been in pre-production for a year or so, or 2 years or so. That's what I reckon. You know, they should have just worked on the script, just keep writing and throw things out and add more stuff in. And once the trilogy is finished, as in in written form, then you go and film it, similar to what Peter Jackson done with The Lord of the Rings. You know, that was in pre-production for like 2 years or so. Once the script had been all written, then he went and shot it, and that's why the Lord of the Rings trilogy feels a lot more consistent, and it's all connected, and it all flows all the same way, and the whole trilogy goes in the one same direction, you know. But in this one, it seems like The Force Awakens was going this way, and then Ryan, and then Ryan just like, I'm like, oh man, bro, who's driving here? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, who's driving? Someone needs to make up their minds where we going, because you know, because with this The Last Jedi, it feels like Ryan's going somewhere else, and JJ wants to go there, and then Ryan's going over there, and it's like, hey, what's going on here? Shambles, mate, shambles. That's what it is, you know. So, but hey, man, look, this is just one man's opinion. Okay, I'm not a writer. Okay, I'm just a humble bystander. You know? Hey, man, look, I enjoy movies and that. I enjoy sci-fi. You know, I'm not trying to sit here and be like, I know what to do, and you should have done this and should have done that. Look, you know, I just want an enjoyable ride. I just, you know, which I got an enjoyable movie to watch, but in terms of storyline, it's like, is this the best you could come up with? Like, is, with all your talent, with all your actors and actresses and all your talent and directors and special effects people and orchestra people, this is the best you could do? This is the best storyline you could do? Bro, that, I've seen better with a lot less. You know, like for instance, bro, for me, I still think the Avatar The Last Airbender, not the movie, the Nickelodeon TV series, I still think that cartoon series is the best, bro. Like, that had some really good storytelling and really good character development. I just, you know, I don't know how you had you got a cartoon like the Avatar, you know, telling better stories and having more relatable characters than your big ass $1,000,000,000,000 Star Wars franchise. Like, how did you do that? Like, how did that happen? Well, how did you manage that, sir? You know, you got all this money, you know, and you can't even tell a good story, or can't tell a cohesive story that connects, you know. But then you got a cartoon, you know, a cartoon series that tells a better story than you. Oh man, shambles, mate. I just don't understand. I'm just like, how's that? How can you do that? How did you manage that? You know. But look, man, these are just my thoughts. I think I'd finish up because, like, we damn near 25 bloody oh man, I've been jabbering on for frickin' ages. Oh, blah 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 blah. Star Wars, blah blah blah. Ryan John, blah blah blah. I've just been talking shit. But yeah, anyways, hope you fellas are safe. Please keep safe. I hope you fellas enjoyed the video. If you've fallen asleep, I'm sorry. I just blah, 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 blah. But yeah, please be safe. Look after one another. Be safe on the roads, because normally during Christmas, there is a lot of car crashes, especially during the Christmas holidays and that. There'll be a lot of car crashes, so please be careful on the roads, drive safely. No rush, okay, the beach isn't going anywhere, okay, the river ain't going anywhere, it's been there for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need to rush, people. It's all good. It's all gravy. But yeah, that's me. I'm done. My throat's dry. I want to go have a drink. But yeah, hope you fellas are safe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you fellas up in my next video. Peace.